Hello Squirrels and welcome to PPM6 TV. Today what it is a critical question. What do you do next after you've made the greatest gun mic in history? Many people would say that the Sennheiser MKH416 is, and certainly was at the time, the greatest gun mic ever made. Some people go so far as to say it's the greatest microphone ever made. I think that may be pushing it, but it is a belter. Now, the 416 is deadly and lethally simple. It just microphones. That's all it does. There are no switches, no dials, no dongles. You can't take the capsule off, it's fixed. It is what it is, and it is glorious. However, Sennheiser sat down some years ago now to think, what do we do next? And what they did next was this. The MKH60. In upgrading the MKH series, they dropped a digit, so 416 went down to 460, but I suppose they kept a 6 to keep us in line. Now, like the 416, this is an RF condenser. It's, I think it was pioneering by Sennheiser at the time, and it means that the microphones are much less sensitive to moisture and dampness than ordinary condenser capsules. The MKH60 is quite a bit fatter. Let me just see if I can show you that. The two of them together. Yeah. It's quite a bit fatter. Now, I'm not sure if that means it has a bigger capsule. I've asked John Willett, hi John, source of all things Sennheiser, and when he gets back to me, I'll include it in the written description. But I suspect it might have a bigger capsule because bigger capsule means lower noise. And the noise performance of the MKH60 is astonishing. 8 dBA. That is just 1 dB worse than the large diaphragm Gefell 930, and what a mic that is, that I had on here a few weeks ago. So they've really gone to town on the capsule. Now they've also included for us some switches. You got a high pass filter. You also get a high end boost. Sennheiser think that, well, when you're in the far field, you lose a bit of HF. Why not give you the option to put it back in? I don't know if many mics would do that. And a 10 dB pad. And you'll notice that bit of the mic is actually flat. I guess it stops it rolling off the desk, and it also means access to the switches is that little bit better. One thing they certainly did add in the MKH60 was a few pounds on the price. This is an expensive microphone, but I think it's fair to say the MKH series, of which the 60 is a part, is Sennheiser's statement. These are the very best microphones we can make, and that is a significant claim coming from a company with such a fantastic track record. So let's take the MKH60 and the 416 outside and put them head to head. Garrison Keillor, Lake Wobegon days, and the chapter called Protestant. The old regulator clock ticked. The rain stopped and the room changed light as the sun broke through. Shafts of brilliant sun through the windows and motes of dust falling through it. The smell of clean clothes and floor wax and wine and fresh bread of Aunt Flo, which was Christ's body given for us. Jesus in our midst, who loved us. So peaceful. And we loved each other too. I thought perhaps the Spirit was leading me to say that. But I was just a boy, and children were supposed to keep still. And my affections were not pure. They were tainted with a sneaking admiration of Catholics. Catholic Christmas, Easter, the Living Rosary, and the blessing of the animals, all magnificent. Everything we did was plain, but they were regal and gorgeous, especially the feast day of St. Francis, which they did right out in the open, a feast for the eyes. Cows, horses, some pigs, right on the church lawn. The turmoil, animals bellowing and barking and clucking, and cats scheming how to escape and suddenly leaping out of the girl's arms who was holding on tight. The cat dashing through the crowd, dogs straining at the leash, and the ocarina band of the third graders playing Catholic dirges. And the great calm of the sisters, and the flags, and the Knights of Columbus decked out in their handsome black suits. I stared at it until my eyes almost fell out. And then I wished it would go on much longer. And so to the big reveal. I don't often do blind tests now, but I thought it'd be helpful in this case just because issues around price and things may have swayed our listening pleasure. Microphone A was the 416 and microphone B is the MKH60. Now, it's a testimony to the 416 that it's still on the books after all these years, and partly I guess because the MKH60's elevated price means that there is room in the Sennheiser range for a mic of quality below that price point. And on the subject of price, because the MKH60 is so very expensive, it is rarer and therefore harder to find second hand, and that may also be a reason for the 416's continued popularity. Now, the 416's been around a long time and there's plenty of them out there. It does also hold its value, but you can every now and again sneak a bargain on the second-hand market, as I did for mine. Now, I don't know what you thought about the sound. I felt that the MKH60 probably edged it at the extremes, but I'm willing to hear your opinion, so by all means pile onto the comments below and have a listen. I've enjoyed this comparison immensely. Two very fine microphones. Nobody ever got sacked for turning up with a 416 or indeed an MKH60. They're both very, very fine microphones indeed. I hope you enjoyed it. Do subscribe, it does help, and come back soon to PPM6. Bye for now.